Hello, hello. May God bless you. May He prosper you this day. My name is Rick. I am the cryptocurrency Watchman. Okay, we're going to look at a few coins this morning for day trading. Um, these are short-term coins that I'm going to be looking at. There are two of them that I would recommend as long-term, but we're going to be focusing on the short term here, at least for the next week or so. And I may try and do this a continual thing every morning. I've been trying kind of looking at ICOs and some other things and trying to determine as far as which direction to take the channel. And I think I'm leaning towards maybe just sticking to a lot of the short term, doing a lot of day trading every day so that we can all prosper. A lot of the other channels are dealing with long-term coins, ICOs, and I will be doing some of those from time to time, but I think that day trading is going to be, I believe it's going to be the key, that's going to be the number one uh, subject with this channel. So let's get started. All right, Digibyte. Digibyte is one of those long-term holds. This is definitely a long-term hold. I truly believe that Digibyte is going to $1. It did really well over the past couple of days. We're actually at 2 cents right now, a little over 2 cents with Digibyte. And let's take a look real quick. Yeah, you can see Digibyte is a little over 2 cents. It was less than a penny 2 days ago, and has more than doubled at this point. I mean, it's just a steady climb, and we had a little bit of a retrace, and I actually jumped out at the top when it just went over 2 cents. It looked like it was starting to go down. I saw this fall here, which is a black cloud dropping right here. We saw a little bit of engulfing and a few signs, but then this black cloud jumped up, started up, and I was able to jump out right at 2 cents. Well, it's starting to go back up again. When I say I pulled out part of my money. I left part of it in because part of it is for the long-term ride. But I did pull out and just waited for the retrace to start back up, and jumped in this morning again, and it's going up again. I believe it's going to continue going up. All the signs are showing. We see the engulfing here. We didn't get a whole lot here. This is basically a hammer, almost a hammer, and then we see the signs of it. We see the green candlestick, the green, and it's definitely going back up again. So we're going to see some higher numbers out of Digibyte. Looks like it's going to be climbing on a steady pace. The volume has got it in second place here on Poloniex. So there's definitely some serious movement going on with Digibyte. I don't know if that's a result of the fear with Bitcoin coming up. I'm not sure, but we're also seeing, you can see that Cycoin is also going up, even though I did not include those as one of my coins for the day. But you can look at Cycoin, just pray on it, use your own discernment. But I would definitely get into Digibyte this morning. And if you're looking for the short term, this is going to be a good one. You're going to see, I believe you're going to see well over 10% on this one just for the day. Okay, the next one is Litecoin. Litecoin, we've had a little bit of drop on this one, and you can see it's kind of fizzling out. But look how the Bollinger Bands are tightening together. Something is getting ready to happen with Litecoin. It could go down. It could go up. To be right now with the way the market is, a lot of red, but it hasn't turned all red like it has in the past. I think that a lot of people are being a little more weary about moving their money in and out of some of these coins, and of course by the end of the day, I may be eating my words, and it may go fully red, with the exception of maybe one or two coins. But Litecoin is getting ready to do something. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down, but it's getting ready to make a big move. I would maybe look at, right now we're at 0.0159 Satoshis, 43.93. So just under $44. And I believe that we're going to see, we're going to see it could go either way. I would keep an eye on this. I would maybe look at maybe somewhere around 1640 Satoshis, somewhere in there, because when it makes its move, it's going to make the move in that one direction, in one particular direction. If it starts going up and you see it going up maybe about, I don't know, 20 Satoshis, 15, 20 Satoshis, then I would definitely jump in and, just use discernment. Set your stop loss at maybe around 5%, or if you're a little more ambitious, go for 10%. And of course, as it goes up, you can set your buy at a certain point, and as it goes up, you can set your stop loss so that if it starts to go back down, say you hit 5% and you're still in and it's still going up, you can set your stop loss, once it goes up past that 5% mark, set your stop loss at that 5% mark, especially if it's continuing to go up. So if maybe you step away, or maybe you got to go to work or overnight or whatever, if it drops back down, once it hits that stop loss mark, you sold and you still have your 5%. So, use wisdom, learn how to use your stop losses, learn how to read the charts. I mean, I'm learning more and more every day. I mean, anybody who says they know it all is a liar. So, just do educate yourself in these things, and I will try to guide you as well as I can to the coins that I believe are going to be the ones that could show some good gains for the day. Okay, next we're going to look at Stellar. Stellar's in the red right now, but that's okay. You can see that we had a pretty good jump over the weekend. Some very good gains to be made in Stellar, and I don't think it's done. You can see that the Bollinger Bands are coming together. Let's look at the candles. You can see doji, 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 which means a change is coming. And then we have the confirmation on the green here. We have another small doji here, and which signifies another change. So it's kind of bouncing up and down, but the Bollinger Bands are coming together. I would definitely keep an eye on this one. If it, the more and more they squeeze together, when it makes a move quick. And so if whether going up or down, if it starts to make that move up, I would give it at least a couple of candles. Now I'm on a 30-minute chart. You can go to a 15-minute chart, which gives you a little more information close together. But you can see that we're kind of in a kind of going down, but that doesn't mean anything at this point, because generally you want to use the 7 candle rule. Look back 7 candles. See where you are, watch your trend, and when it's going sideways like this, I mean, we're not seeing any big trends here, so small trends. So this doesn't mean a whole lot, but as these Bollinger Bands come together, we saw a little bit of a jump here when you see the Bollinger Bands squeezing together. Not a whole lot of volume. We saw a lot of volume over the weekend, but it's getting ready to do something. So I would keep an eye on it. We may or may not see something on it today, and maybe later on the night or in the morning. But I would definitely keep an eye on it, because I believe it's going to. I personally believe that it's definitely going to go up some more. But it may be a day or two before we really see anything on this. But I would definitely keep an eye on this one. You can see here that Stellar is at a little over 2 cents. So I like these smaller coins. I like the ones that are trading around maybe 2 cents, 10 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. Sometimes I'll jump into the higher price coins, just depending upon the trend. But I usually like to stay with these, with these penny coins. I tend to get better results out of them. Okay, our next coin is Monero, acronym XMR. You can see the Bollinger Bands came together real tight this morning. We're seeing some volume jumping in right here. Definitely past the buy sign. If we look back, we're seeing a climb here. You can see that there was. Let me zoom in a little bit better here. Let me go to a 30-minute chart. Okay, you can see that there's an engulfing here. Okay, if we go back, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see that the trend started here. I mean, this is basically this is a doji right here, and then we see an engulfing. Then we see our confirmation. Um, this is a doji also, just a different type. And we're seeing here, and we didn't really see anything here, but again, we see our confirmation. We see an engulfing. Um, we see more confirmation right here. I wouldn't pay attention to this right here because it's still in the move, but I believe this coin is on its way up. You can easily see 10% out of this one. I would set the buy at maybe around 5-6%, something like that. Keep an eye on it, and if it continues to approach up, just move your buy sign up higher to maybe 10% or so. And once you pass that 5 or 6% mark, set your stop loss so that if it does drop and it reaches that mark, you're selling, and you're still keeping your profit. So I hope you guys are learning how to use your stop losses, because that is very, very important, especially if you're not able to sit at the computer and keep an eye on it all day. Monero is at 43.81. It's up 2.37% according to CryptoCap. So yeah, this one's on the way up, and I believe we're going to see some decent numbers out of this one today. Okay, next one is Steem. We saw some good numbers over the weekend. Starting on Friday here, we had a nice little climb. If you're in on Steem, you had a nice little profit over the weekend. It's awesome, So, and I hope that you read your numbers and everything as you were going, and you were able to keep all your profit. You can see your black cloud here, and at that point it just started to fall. You got to watch your signs and these things. Almost had a morning star, but we didn't have the gap up here. So just a steady climb here, and then of course you see you're engulfing, and it's almost a piercing, even though it didn't go below the mark, but just kind of worked its way down. But I believe that we're getting ready to see some more movement out of this one. Let's zoom in just a little bit here. You can see the dojis, the change on the way up. I wouldn't pay attention to this right now. This is actually almost a piercing right here, even though it's in the red. This could turn green very quickly, and I believe there's a chance you're going to see some decent numbers out of this one. Just to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't get in yet. I would wait for more confirmation. Okay, the last one is LSK. LSK. Move this down just a hair. We had a nice little jump over the weekend. It's still on a steady climb. The Bollinger Bands are coming together. Not a lot of volume. A lot of the volume has dropped off, but that we all know that can change pretty quick. If we zoom in a little bit here, you can see that we're still on a steady climb up. I mean, it's no big numbers yet, but I believe that this one could continue to climb. I would give a little bit of time, because it looks like we have an engulfing here. I would maybe wait until it starts to approach maybe 780, somewhere in there, maybe 785. If it continues on its way up, if we see a confirmation of a green candle, especially maybe the next two candles, then I would definitely get in. If the next two candles are green and they're going up, I would definitely consider jumping in on this one. I don't know if you're going to see some high numbers out of this one. 5% maybe, a good 5%. But watch your candles, watch your trends, watch what's going on, and just use discernment. Educate yourself on what you're doing. Okay, guys. Well, that's the coins for today. Let me know how it turns out. Give me any feedback. Shoot me an email. Please subscribe to my channel and like me on Facebook at CryptoC Watchman. Have a good day, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.